Thanks for staying up later. I'm Bob Costas. Make yourself comfortable. Just as comfortable as Danny Devito is here at 1:30 in the morning, or whatever time we come on in your city. We just got to look at Louis De Palma in Taxi.
Yeah.
What was it like when you walked in to audition for that role?
Oh, well, Bob, see, you got to understand, none of those people, they knew me, a couple of them knew me from Cuckoo's Nest, but basically I was flying, you know, just coming in there cold. And I read that script and thought, God, this is really terrific material. You know, the first Taxi script. I thought it was like the greatest. I really, really wanted to do well. You know, and I actually wasn't aware of like the popularity of these guys like Jim Brooks and Weinberger and Stan Daniels and Dave Davis. They came right from MTM, you know, and they were like the hotshot TV guys. See, so I always try to, you know, present a strong first impression. I always did when I was like a, you know, an actor going up for a job and trying to get in there. And so when I went to read for the part, I remember going in. It was a beautiful office, Ed Weinberger's office, very well appointed. You know, the wood, the mahogany, this and that. You know, and the casting director, Joel Thurm, he introduced me. He says, "This is Danny Devito. This is Jim Brooks, Ed Weinberg, blah blah blah." And I looked across the way, and there was my seat. You know, it's the one when you're an actor, you know you're going to go sit in that hot seat, right? And all these people are around the room, and I had the script in my hand. And I said to them, "There's one thing I want to know before we start." I threw the script on the table. I said, "Who wrote this shit?" Right? So it was like I took one step in total terror. Because you know what I mean? And then they just fell on the ground. They were laughing like crazy. Because they're looking for this guy, Louis.
With an attitude.
You know what I'm saying? And here I was. It was like, it was my room after that.
Before you started to do other things, Romancing the Stone, and now the new movie out with Schwarzenegger, which we'll talk about in a minute, before you gained great fame for doing the other things, and people just thought of you as Louis De Palma, would they confront you on the street and want you to be that guy? Or treat you as if you were that guy?
No, yeah, people, you know, when they really loved that, and they loved, you know, they loved the character, so they would always, you know, there was a thing that I always did on Taxi. I'd go,
yeah,
like that whenever I scored, and to Louis, scoring was getting the better of his fellow man or woman. He would prefer women all the time, but and that happened to me all the time on the street. People would do it, or say do, or ask me to do it. You know, a lot of people ask me where I got it, and you know, you always pick up little things. And my nephew was a bowler, right?
Professional bowler?
No, a bowler.
Just, yeah.
And you know, you go to accompany him to the lanes and or whatever. And anytime he got a strike, he would do this thing, right? It was like a bowler thing. It was great. So I glommed that from Fred.
That whole group on Taxi.
Yeah.
Classic group of characters.
Oh yeah. Oh, great guys. Really good.
But the one that fascinates me the most is Andy Kaufman.
Andy, God rest his soul, yes. Andy was like, ooh,
all the time?
Pretty much, yeah. Really a talented artist. I mean, like, you know, I saw some of his shows were really great. You know, he did, well, you saw him on Saturday night and things like that. And
lip-syncing Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
and
very
Old MacDonald's
conceptual
Farm.
artist. Really, did great stuff. I saw him at Carnegie Hall once. He did this great thing at Carnegie Hall. He announced, it was in the beginning of Mork and Mindy was just on, and Robin Williams was getting very hot, and he announced that Robin was going to be at the show. You know what I mean? He was going to be in the show, not in the audience.
Right.
He was going to be in the show. And, you know, all through the show, you know, I mean, it's like the old gun in the drawer. Do you know that one? I'll tell you that one later.
All right.
Anyway, in the beginning of the show, Andy comes out, and he tells us all about the show, how it's going to be, you know, and everything. And he introduces, he says his grandmother always wanted him to play Carnegie Hall, right?
Yeah.
And he introduces his grandmother. He says that, you know, that it was her dream to see him play in Carnegie Hall, and he wanted her to be with him, part of his show. And he had this really great sofa or a thing set up, and she sat there all night just watching the show from the stage.
Doesn't utter a peep.
Doesn't utter a peep. And then at the end of the show, he's saying goodbye to everybody, and he's got somebody out there screaming, "Where's Robin? You bum, you promised Robin Williams." And of course, the grandmother gets up after a 2-hour show, goes over to the microphone, rips off a mask, and it's Robin Williams.
That's
So, like, it
unbelievable.
blows you away,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Andy says, "Okay, now everybody go meet me in front of the theater. We're going to go have milk and cookies."
More with Danny DeVito. Stay up later with us.
Stay tuned. Later, we'll be right back.
I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. It is, I've been on my island. I'm telling you, this is absolutely incredible that I've looked for this.
You got to talk into the phone, bozo.
Vincent. Dearest Vincent, I know you don't know who I am, but believe me, I came halfway across the world.
Whoa. I got another 6 hours to pay the money back. And tell the Claim brothers that harassing a man who's already in the slammer is beneath even them, all right?
I don't know any Klein brothers. I'm your brother, Julius.
Huh? Come again?
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Oh, obviously. The moment I sat down, I thought I was looking into a mirror.
We're luxuriating here on the set of Later with Danny DeVito. We just saw the clip from Twins. And I would imagine even if the movie hadn't been made, if you and Schwarzenegger were sitting around having lunch, the familial resemblance would be striking.
Oh, yeah, really. Well, like they say, only our mother can tell us apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
So
It was great working with him.
This movie pretty much puts to rest the whole nature versus nurture argument, which has raged in scientific circles for years, right? Twins separated at birth.
What do you say?
You know,
Yeah.
whether it's
Wow,
genetics
huh?
or whether it's environment.
Yeah, well, you know, Arnold and I are alike in only a couple of ways, really. I mean, physically, we're nothing like, you know what I mean? I mean, he's very weak and I'm very strong. Outside of the fact that we can both bench press the same amount of weight, the only thing we really have in common is you know, Arnold's he's very big on family, so am I. And he's got, you know, this wonderful wife, Maria, who he loves dearly, you know, and I have Rhea, who I love, and my children. And, you know, we both wanted to do a comedy. That was the only other thing.
So many of the characters you play, not all of them, but so many of them, have that element of the schlump. Even if the guy is a villain, he's kind of a humorous, kind of schlumpy
Put-upon
villain.
guy.
Put-upon guy.
Guy who's up against the wall. Like in Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile, I always describe my character as Ralph was a guy that you'd meet selling blue jeans out of the back seat of his car, but now he's on to something really big. You know, the Jewel or the, you know, some kind of gold or treasure.
The Vincent character, the guy you play
The guy
in
Twins.
the thing on his window is sports agent and patio furniture, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of different businesses.
Yeah, you need some angles.
Well, you see, the thing about it is, see, Vincent in Twins is a guy who is, you know, he believes that he was abandoned. He's a little boy who was abandoned by his mommy. Okay? Now, he goes through life thinking, his whole philosophy is, I have to do it to you before you do it to me, otherwise I'm a chump. Because you're not going to care anything about me. See? I got to think about number one. So that's the whole thing about the movie, with Arnold coming from this pristine environment, comes to see me, tells me we're brothers. You know, tell me another one, pal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a certain element of the put-upon human being in these characters.
Owen was put upon and throw Mama from the train, but he had an interesting dilemma. He couldn't bring himself to put his mother in a nursing home. That would be uncaring. Yeah. But maybe he could kill her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like everybody's been in that spot where, you know, something is gnawing at you, you know, and you feel very ineffectual. You can't get over on it. You can't get rid of it. You can't figure out how to deal with it. In Owen's case, Larry, Billy Crystal, was the perfect person in his life to take care of Mama, because Owen didn't have it in him to do it himself. And then again, in the end of the picture, when she was, Billy didn't throw her off the train, but she's falling off a train, Owen doesn't want to, the first thing out of his mouth is, you know, don't kill her, Billy, you know, and he says, I'm not trying to kill her, you idiot. I'm trying to save her. You know, so there's a little thing inside of everybody, I think, that, you know, their desires, things that are gnawing at them, you know, they like to take care of. It's very difficult to do. I'm a very fortunate man that I can work all these things out on the screen.
How'd you meet Rhea?
I was doing an off-Broadway play called The Shrinking Bride. It was on 13th Street and 3rd Avenue at a theater called the Mercury Theater. I was playing a demented stable boy named Richie. And in the opening scene, I'm standing on the apron of the stage, leaning over, spitting. And the love interest, Janine, this young girl who I was having my way with on this big land, you know, her father owned this big, you know, estate. She came on stage, she said, "What are you doing, Richie?" And I said, "I'm spitting on the swans." That was my opening line in the play. Rhea was in the audience. She came to see the girl who was playing Janine, and she was so taken by this character that she fell madly in love with me. So that says a lot about Rhea. Huh?
And did you click with her?
Oh, yeah.
Right away?
Oh, absolutely.
Same spontaneous thing when you first met her?
Well, we went to the Cookery to listen to Alberta Hunter play, and that was great. And, you know, at the end of the evening, I asked for her phone number, and that was it. History in the making.
Back with Danny Devito right after this.
When I really want to romance a girl, I waltz with her.
You mean like Strauss?
Yeah, it turns him into putty in your hands. Rum, boom, 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 boom. Rum, boom, boom, rum, boom, boom, rum, boom, boom. Come on, let's assume the dance position. I give you a couple of perthers.
I really appreciate that, Vincent.
Go. All right. Hope nobody's looking in the window. Here. Come on, like this. Here you go. Put your feet by my feet. Come on. Let's go. Here. By my feet, not on my feet. Charles, thanks very much.
Sorry, Vincent.
Minor oversight there. Okay, all right, grab my hand. Come on. Yeah. Ease up, tiny bit. Let the blood flow through the fingers.
I'm like loose.
Come on, that's it. Relax.
I'm just nervous.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. No. Look, see what you're doing with your teeth there, Jules?
Yeah.
You're grinding them. Don't grind your teeth, huh? Don't grind your teeth.
So you get the long string of successes now in one role or another, be it a starring role or supporting role, in Tin Men and Going South, and in Jewel of the Nile and Romancing the Stone, and there's another one coming up that you're going to direct, War of Roses.
That's, War of the Roses, yeah.
That's coming up soon,
yeah.
and Twins is out now, and I've probably left out several others. But as seems to always be the case with people who become a tremendous success, prior to that, there are all those struggling years, and you were pretty close to personally humiliated for a while, right? Feeling as if, you know, you had no chance.
No, I never felt like I had no chance. You know, acting is, it's a particular thing. You know, you're out there telling people to like you. You go on an audition, you say, I'm right for this part, you think you're right for the part. And if you don't get it, you're rejected, so they're kind of rejecting you. And that can be very painful. But even in the days when, like when I just got out of school, or when I was doing off-Broadway work and off-Broadway work, or, you know, summer theater or whatever, you know, when you're an actor, you go after all that, anything, and you read backstage, you show business when you're in New York, and you take those newspapers and you circle all the things, and you go for the jobs. You never feel, I never felt at the end of my rope. Even when I wasn't working, I always felt like tomorrow was going to be the day that I'd get, you know, this job or that. And meanwhile, what you're doing is you're taking classes and doing workshops and, you know, stuff like that.
Didn't it get to a point once where you had to take work as a hairstylist for a while?
No. I was, what I did, the way things went for me was, out of high school, right, my sister had a beauty parlor, and she's always had a beauty parlor ever since I can remember. She either worked for my uncle, who had a beauty parlor, or she had her own.
She still got it?
No. And when I got out of school, high school, I lived in Jersey, Asbury Park, and I said, you know, I'm not doing, there's not much going on for me. And she said, why don't you try this out? You know, this, you know, and I can give you a job. If you go to school and get your license, I can give you a job. And I said, great. So I went and I did that, and I did it for a couple of years. I worked in her beauty parlor. But, you know, that was like, you know, I didn't feel like that was my calling in life.
But they tell me you were good at it. I read somewhere you were good.
No,
they called you Mr. D, and all the women loved you and loved
yeah,
the way they did your
I was good at it. I had a lot of customers, and it was great. I had a great time. And working for my sister was like unbelievable experience. She's sensational. You know, she's just like tremendous. She's a great woman, you know, and everybody loved her, and you know, we had a great time. But I left there when I decided to become an actor. That was in the early 60s. It was actually 25 years ago. It was right after the death of John F. Kennedy. I was doing, I remember exactly where I was at the time when I heard it, and that he died. And it was shortly after that. It was that year that I decided to leave Asbury Park and come to Manhattan to be an actor.
Michael Douglas, with whom you starred in Romancing the Stone, has played a key role in your career, right? He helped you along the way.
Oh, yeah, sure. I used to do my laundry. No, we were good friends since the middle 60s. We met at the Eugene O'Neill Foundation in '66 in Waterford, Connecticut, you know, a couple of actors. And as you know, he produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was the first time we worked together. And then he was instrumental in the transition, you know, from after Taxi. I did Terms of Endearment, Jim Brooks' movie. Mm-hmm. And then from that I did Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. So Michael was, you know, very instrumental in you know, me making the transition back from TV to films. And now we're going to work again. We're going to be together again. And my next film that I'm directing is called The War of the Roses. And Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner are going to star in it with me. It's not a sequel to Jewel or Romancing the Stone. It's a whole new canvas. It's a very dark comedy about divorce. It's the theme of love turned to hate. I play a divorce lawyer. Michael and Kathleen are the Roses, married for 17 years. It's going to be the last movie ever made about divorce. Let's put it that way.
We got to take a break. We'll be back with Danny DeVito right after this.
We keep telling you that Drixoral is the 12-hour cold medicine pharmacists recommend most. Not to blow our own horn, but so you don't blow yours.
$7.99 right now at Consumers.
So do yourself a favor around Christmas time. Go see Twins. DeVito and Schwarzenegger. He's the one on the left. See you later.
Join us Monday night for some semi-tough talk with author Dan Jenkins.